Caleb, have I told you I love you?
No.
Ew! Gross.
If you love me, why won't you pee on... Alright, let's start this here.
Don't pee on me!
Don't pee on me.
Don't pee on me!
So, I guess that's how we're starting this episode of Poodcast.
Hi, everyone. I'm Peeking. Welcome to another episode of Poodcast. It's already begun. Decimation.
I'm P-Boy and Lava Girl. Nice to meet you.
Oh no, he's traveling into another dimension.
Another dimension.
So, Caleb, you're our guest for this episode after Push Dustin from last. Tell us about yourself and your magical adventures these last few months.
I'll tell you about myself first, and then we'll get to the adventures later. My name is Caleb. Hates games. I do not hate games. And my voice is gone, so bear with me. And you might know me from maybe some Kingdom Hearts streams here and there. You know, I'm the loud one. That's about it. That's about all I'm worth.
But Caleb, you're so much more than that.
No.
You gave us PA.
Hey, I'm co-creator of both Midley and PA. If you like my new original characters, please go buy my art book. Caleb Hates OCs.
So Caleb, these last few months, you've gone on a magical world, not world tour, but like
the world has been touring to me.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, kinda.
Yes, I've been going on some wild adventures, one could say.
Yeah, you went to New York. You then went to LA. You then went home. And then you went back to LA. And for two of those events, one LA, one New York.
Yes, this is right.
It's for a K-pop con.
Yeah, you got that.
So,
now there's two of you out there going like, what's K-pop? That sounds like some cool shit. Well, guess what? It's not, unfortunately. I'm sorry to be the guy to burst that bubble, but K-pop stands for Korean pop music. And
yes.
That is something that I've, over the past, let's say 3 or 4 years, have become quite the aficionado of. I'm just saying,
I've seen the photos of your room recently.
Yeah, you have. And everybody on Twitter, hashtag Caleb Hates Games, can also see those fantastic pictures of what the inside of a rabbit hole looks like.
Oh my god.
There was some Kingdom Hearts posters in there as well. What else was there?
There is one Kingdom Hearts 2 poster, I'm looking right at it, and then to my right, there is one Splatoon poster, and then the back wall is just a... Oh, that's a microphone. And the back wall is just a complete fucking nightmare of Korean women.
I don't know why I wanted to say that there was gonna be like a poster of Yu-Gi-Oh! For some reason.
There's no Yu-Gi-Oh! In here, I don't go down that far. There is a big Sonic the Hedgehog plushie. That might be what you're thinking of.
You know what? It probably is. And that makes no sense, though.
If you think about it, Sonic's just blue Yu-Gi-Oh, right?
Shut up.
They do have the 5 spikes.
Shut the fuck up.
They're both spiky boys.
I'm gonna beat you up.
This isn't... Why do I come on this show where both other hosts threaten to beat me up?
So speaking of demilitarized zones, let's talk about the North Korea con you went to, the K-Con New York.
Oddly enough, the North Korean convention that I went to, there was not many happy people. Everyone was just kind of standing still. But the South Korean con, now that was actually a pretty good time. I recommend that one for sure. What would you like to know specifically?
I love how we can actually talk about... Because you actually did go to a North K-Con and a South K-Con.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
You can actually... There's layers to this story.
Yeah. So let's talk about K-Con New York, which from what I gather was not in New York, but in New Jersey.
Yeah, if you want to fucking talk about some misleading advertising on like the Halo 5 level, fucking look up K-Con New York, where it's big fucking fat letters that say, K-Con New York, come on over to New York. And you read the fine print, it's like, It's in New Jersey. And you're like, well,
It's in North Brunswick.
Hmm?
Yeah, cause I'm a New York boy. You know, I've had my fair share of pizza, and Caleb has visited me once before, and you know, like a good friend, he didn't even consider going a second time until there was a fucking K-pop con.
Hey, what can I say? I got my priorities straight.
Yeah, right. And we were making plans to hang out and all that, and I was like, oh, should I go to the con? Like, I don't think I'm gonna fit in. Like, they're gonna come and be like, hey, what's your favorite pop group? And I'll be like, you know, the Beach Boys, you know, because I'm in with it. I'm hip with the kids. But no, Caleb's like, oh, I'm on a time constraint because I got to go back to New Jersey at some point. I'm like, for fucking what? It's like, oh, that's where the con is. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Joyzy, nah.
Yeah. The thing is, I also didn't figure that out until a little bit too late. And I was like, wait a minute. That address isn't in New York. What's NJ stand for? I thought it was New York this whole time.
I was going to make a joke saying that K-Con New Jersey didn't sound as attractive, but no, it quite literally doesn't. Nothing in New Jersey sounds attractive.
I felt the same way when I went to New Jersey, and I was like, oof.
Yeah, it's like the same, except just off.
New Jersey's like the North Korea to New York, South Korea.
And Connecticut's like Taiwan. It's just like its own thing. It's like
I hate this comparison so much.
It's part of like the tri-state, but no one. It's like whatever.
Oof.
But
yeah, I'm sorry that I didn't come visit you sooner. If it makes you feel any better, it's because I felt extremely guilty about you having to nurse me back to health the first time I came over to visit.
I almost had to do it again recently. Where I was showing some folks from just some people I know from out of state around, and one of them was getting progressively sicker, and I went, oh no, here's my time to shine. Get the fucking food bullet out. Yeah. But yeah, so we went our separate ways. I went home, and then I just didn't fucking hear from you for 5 days.
Don't worry, no one did.
Yeah.
I had to spread open that rabbit hole and hop in.
You know, considering the demographic of people I saw in that bookstore you took me to, I don't know if I want to hear about you jumping into any holes. Let's talk about that.
Look, just because they're 16-year-old boys doesn't mean anything at all. Yeah, talk about the bookstore that almost ended our friendship.
At one point, we were walking in Koreatown, and I spotted a bookstore that Caleb had been telling me about earlier on in the day, and I went, oh, you know, I like
books.
I like books. I like things that are foreign and I can't read. That's why I went to Japan. Let's take a gander inside. I think I took like 3 steps in, and I was like, yeah, I'm good. Because it was just like loud and smelled like garbage and was full of 13-year-old children.
I mean, all of those things are mutually exclusive.
Yeah, and I was just like, what have you done? What have you gotten into?
Your tone instantly changed. Like, actually, the glare that you had on me, I'm like, dude, you were like okay with coming in here. I didn't know I was like forcing you beyond your will to come in here, and you're just like
No, but I made it through. We went to the back where the knockoff Gundams were.
Yeah.
We could have gotten Kevin in on that. Hi, Kevin. But
I walk you to the back. I'm like, look at all these toys. Look, there's no K-pop back here. It's gonna be okay. We're still friends, right?
Yeah. No, but then we got the best of the best quality chicken.
Oh, that fucking chicken! I thought about it today.
There was a place like I think 2 doors down from that bookstore called BBQ Chicken, and you'd think it'd be for barbecue, but no, it stands for the best of the best quality chicken.
They weren't wrong.
They weren't wrong. I went there. I went back there again this weekend, and it was. I had some honey garlic chicken. And it was real fucking good. It seems like the Korean chicken part is a front. Like to hook people in, to get people addicted, you walk in and there's all the Korean fried chicken. But if you go downstairs, that's where like the real rest of the menu is.
There's a downstairs.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Ooh.
We gotta keep the North Korean stuff downstairs. That's what a good shit is.
It's where all the fried donkey meat is.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
God, Caleb sounds like he's always about to just... Oh
Nut.
my god. Like
Perpetual
I picture...
nut.
Caleb sounds like he has the most active, like, picture clear, like, imagination
I
ever.
do. It's true.
So yeah, let's. How was KCON New York?
KCON New York was an experience, and by that I mean I didn't know what to expect. You know, this is my first time going into a public setting that's themed around this weird rabbit hole thing that I know is weird, but I'm into, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know how this is gonna be. You know, I'm going to see the concerts at night, but I've also paid for this ticket to walk around and do God knows what. So I'm like, all right, I see here that there is a fan meetup for my favorite group, which I'm not going to say because Brian still has to figure out who it is.
Yes!
And I'm like, fuck, this is going to be weird, but I'm going to go to it. So I go to it. It's this little fucking tent. The whole thing is outside because, why not? It's, dead middle of summer. I'd have it no other way. And I go to this tent. Just a bunch of people, probably about, I'd say anywhere from 12 years old to, me being the oldest at 23. And probably one other boy in that whole crowd. And we all sit down on the floor. And they're like, okay, we're going to play a bunch of games. First game that we play, they play 5 songs at the same time. And they tell you to guess what songs we're playing. And it was the single worst experience I've ever had in my whole life. Because just imagine loud music that you can't make out. 1, because it's in Korean. 2, because there's 5 fucking songs playing at the same time.
I used to play a game like that with my sister, but with anime intros.
Jesus fucking Christ.
We eventually just brought it down to 1 song because it's so much more bearable.
Yeah, like, I don't know whose idea that was, but the whole crowd hated that. They were very vocal about, like, this sucks, move on. And they're like, okay, we got one more game, because we thought that first one was going to be an absolute banger. So then they did, like, hey, we're going to play a song. If you know the dance moves, get up and dance. Big mistake. In a small tent full of 200 people, there's a lot of elbows flying around.
Oh my god.
And when they're 12 years old, they're not very tall. So you can imagine at which height the elbows might be in.
Were you just knocking everyone over like Godzilla?
No. They were knocking me in the nutsack about 5 times, though. And I'm like, I didn't need those.
You gotta wear a cup.
Yeah, no, I needed one for multiple reasons.
That reminds me, a few months ago, I hacked, like, an old iPod Mini I had.
I'm in.
And, yeah. No, I opened it up and I swapped out the hard drive and the battery. Because it turns out old iPods used mechanical hard drives. Which really explains how and why those things would just, like, fucking kill themselves after, like, a year. I don't know if anyone in the audience ever had a fucking iPod, but they had a tendency to just, like, die after a while. They would just stop working, but, yeah, it's probably because you were shaking it too much and the mechanical hard drive just up and stopped working.
Jesus Christ.
But now you can replace it with, like, an SD card with, like, no real modification, and it works perfectly. And they had... I forgot... They don't have this on the newer iPods or the iPhone, but and I kind of miss it. It's this little game they had called Music Quiz, where it would play a sample of like a random song on your iPod, and you just had to like click the right song, and it was such a nothing feature, but it was really cute. But yeah, continue. Yeah,
everyone loves trivia like that.
Yeah, it's like
I'm down for it.
It was just cute. It was adorable. I like it.
By the way,
there's not fucking 5 songs playing at once.
Yeah. Caleb.
Hey.
By the end of this pood, I want to figure out who your favorite group is.
Hey, you got to get on it.
So
you said the name of it earlier.
I said the name of it earlier.
That's why I said you've got it.
Okay, so it's definitely a girl band, right?
Doesn't have to be.
You gotta keep them guessing. You gotta do it at the end of the podcast.
Yeah,
you
for
can't
sure.
do it.
Yeah.
You can't do it now.
There's a lot of stories to tell. He might figure it out.
I'm not. I already told you. I only know like 7 groups: Shiny, Girls' Generation, Brown Eyed Girls, Epic High, Red Velvet, FX, and Trendy.
Yeah, you just said one of them.
God damn it, Caleb!
100%. You got it, dude. You'll figure it out. Don't worry, man.
I'm assuming.
That group is the one that I went to that obnoxious fan meetup, and it was awful. And then I moved on.
There's no way it was Epic High, though.
All right, shut up. We gotta keep going. We gotta keep the stories moving.
Give me more hints, Caleb, through these stories.
There's a whole story to tell. I promise. But then I'm like, all right, I did the fan meetup. Now I'm at a convention. I have to kill. I think it was about 6 hours. I have to kill 6 hours at this convention.
Oh, oof.
That could have gone terribly.
What a relief.
No, that's fine. I got to kill 6 hours till the concert that night. And there ain't jack shit to do. Because how do you organize a convention around people wanting to see musical artists? You just kind of talk about the people that you want to go see. So then all of the panels and all the events were just people sitting around going like, man, I really love that group. Yep, me too. I want to fuck that one. But it's weird because they're like 13-year-old girls, and you're like, I need to leave. So then you just walk around and you eat a lot. And you're like, I can't wait to try this genuine Korean cuisine. And then you go down there and it's like this white dude selling ice cream cones. You're like, fuck off.
Yeah, that's I was gonna ask about that. Was there any like Korean snack vendors, or was it literally just like, here's the Pizza Hut food truck?
About half and half.
Okay.
I think LA actually has a way more funny version of that. New York was probably about half and half. I think from what I remember, it was just like, white dude selling white food, and then you got like you got a pretty good selection of, hey, there's just some Korean snacks. Hey, there's like some Korean fried chicken on a stick.
Well, I guess sorry to cut you off, but I guess sorry good. I guess the big changes was KCON LA actually in LA.
Yes.
There's probably the reason why.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm sure if they were hosting it at like the Javits Center in New York,
yeah,
they probably would have had a shitload. Because when you're in New York itself, you can get some best of the best quality chicken, or go to H Mart. But yeah, when you're in fucking North Brunswick or wherever the hell it was.
And that's the thing too, it felt so fucking like ghetto.
Yeah.
Like you pull up and you're like, oh, this looks nice, but then you realize like the whole thing's outside. It's all tents. It's crowded. There's no like organization in terms of like where people are lining up. Oh, it's about to rain. This wasn't well thought out. There's like a big outside stage for like dance covers. The speakers go out. You're like, is this an official? Did I stumble into like a clone version? Was there actually one in New York that I took the wrong road?
He went to the bootleg one.
Yeah, I went to the fucking bootleg KCON. But I don't know. I mean, you go to the convention the first day. You look around. You're like, okay, well, for me personally, I don't want to go to the panels that are like journalism and K-pop, or being in the LGBT and liking K-pop, verbatim. Those were some of the, panels I had to choose from. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm just not going to do this. So I just went and I stood in line for the concert, like 5 hours early. Went to the concert, had a great time.
All right.
Go in, you sit down. They loop music videos. Everybody, as the stadium fills up, gets increasingly louder and louder as they see their favorite music video come on. You see some goobers standing up dancing. You're like, yeah, I like that guy. I respect that. And the show is just an average concert. Really, really good. Then you wake up the next day. You're like, oh, I don't want to go back to the convention. I guess I'm just gonna watch SpongeBob in the hotel for 12 hours until concert. And that's what you do.
That's how you do it.
And there was a little bit more for New York, but New York was pretty tame, all things considered. Like, it was go stand in the merch line, I think I stood in the merch line for an hour and 30 minutes, got up to the, checkout, and I'm like, hey, I need all of my favorite group. And she's like, that sucks. Everything's sold out. And I defeatedly just kind of like slump over onto the counter. I'm like, look, I've been in this line for an hour and 30 minutes. I came all the way here from Florida to just buy everything this group has. Do you have anything left? And the lady walks back. She hands me like some little fucking knickknacks with their name on it. And I'm like, thank you so much. Have a great day. And I leave. But then, I'm also like, you know what? I had brought so much money for this. Give me everything else from every other group. And she's like,
ooh,
all right. So then I just come home with like, I don't know, I barely know this group, but I got their stuff now, whatever. Emotional purchases. And, they have, like I said before, they have a stage for you to, do dance covers. They have this big concert. They bring out some of like the big producers, and they're like, all right, we're going to have big producers rate like 5 different groups that are going to do cover dances for different songs. And it's like this big deal, really professional thing set up. One group comes out, they start dancing to a BTS song, the speakers blow out. And their dance just slows down like a toy running out of fucking battery, and they just look at the crowd dumbfounded. And the crowd's just like, I guess we gotta sing this Korean song that we don't really know how to pronounce. So then everyone bands together and starts singing this song, and you're like, that's both inspiring and the most heartbreaking thing I've ever seen. So, that was pretty much New York. It was a pretty tame, kind of boring experience. But,
so Caleb,
hey,
is your favorite group SHINee?
No, it's not.
Damn! Fuck! I thought I had it.
So then here's what happened. So you didn't go home. You went to Anime Fest, right?
I did. I went to Anime Expo.
I was actually gonna ask about this because, well, we'll get into that later, Caleb.
Yeah.
Okay. And then a whopping nuttin' happened at Anime Expo, from what I heard.
Anime Expo was awful. I didn't want to go, but I went because my friends were going, and I stood up 2 a.m. at the Airbnb, and I screamed, I'm never going to Anime Expo again.
I've seen photos, like, it was literally so fucking crowded, like, I imagine it was as densely packed as, like, that room full of 12-year-old elbows.
Dude, you know the pilot episode of SpongeBob where all those sardines are in the fucking Krusty Krab?
Yes!
Remember when Mr. Krabs and Squidward are in, like, the little fucking thing getting lifted up to the ceiling by sardines?
Yes.
That's how I felt, but replace the sardines with fucking My Hero Academia cosplayers.
Oh, God.
I got violent. Because there's a fucking... It was at the, LA Convention Center, and they have, like, the connecting pathway that, bridges the two parts of the building together.
Yeah.
And we're, like, trying to get to some shit. There's something on the schedule we're trying to get to. I think it's, like, the JoJo panel or something. And we're like, alright, we'll take the connector. You walk outside, there's a fucking wall of people with green hair, and you're like, I swear to God, is the fucking My Hero Academia meetup taking place in the one place where everyone needs to fucking walk through? Sure enough, there's a fucking, like, 3,000 green-haired dudes blocking a staircase. And you're like, yeah, I'll just walk up to them and be like, excuse me, gotta get through. They're not fucking having it. I'm like, and then I get on Twitter. I'm fucking fuming at this point. I'm like, fuck everybody that watches My Hero Academia. If you're at KCON, go fuck yourself. Move out of the fucking way. It was a bad time.
Dax, if you're watching this, I don't share Caleb's views.
I don't know who you are, but if you were at Anime Expo, at me. At me, we need to fucking talk.
Dax is a speedrunner and a YouTuber guy and an artist.
At me. But anyway, no, I don't. Just come on, man. Don't block pathways because you're trying to take a picture with a bunch of people dressed up like you. Don't do it.
I'm starting to feel kind of the same way with MagFest, because at least not the con itself I think is fine, but it's just trying to plan to go to it. Like, I mean, the hotel room situation.
Oh, that was fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's something that they, at least getting a hotel room is something that like MagFest needs to really fucking work on, because whatever Pokemon tall grass fucking RNG system they had last year, that needs to not happen again. That was the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen a con do.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the last couple of years, I've just been in these really horrible, non-ideal hotel situations with MagFest, to the point where I'm like, I just can't get any sleep, and I'm like, well, fuck this. Last year, I was sleeping next to a radiator, and I just had, like, hot, dry, fucking air blasted directly into my sinuses, and it was not...
Jesus Christ.
It was not good.
From what you were telling me, though, like, pretty much everyone at Anime Expo gave zero shits about the one game that's probably going to be the best thing to come out of there, which is Dragon Quest XI.
100%. So, yeah, I mean, there's a story there, too.
There's two stories.
There's
two stories.
I guess.
Because there's another game.
Well, yeah, that's part of the story. 100%.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't worry. I wouldn't talk about Dragon Quest. Otherwise.
I'm sorry,
Big oof.
Sorry, I like good RPGs.
Damn.
Got it. You can't.
Listen.
Yeah, I'm being distracted. He's posting pictures of squid girls in chat. I got two weaknesses. Goddamn.
By the way, I'll be drawing those too soon for my other Twitter channel.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You picked the good girls.
Yeah.
Good.
I don't see a goblin.
Yeah, you're right.
But no, so I've imported Dragon Quest XI for 3DS and PS4. I really like it. It's really good, but you say pretty much everyone there, like, no one gave a shit.
Well, to be completely fair to Dragon Quest, it was going up against impossible odds. So the thing that ultimately, besides my friends who I care so much about, the main reason I stuck up and I, suck it up and went, they were having an early preview of Kingdom Hearts 3. You got me. You caught me. That's why I fucking went. I wanted to play Kingdom Hearts early. Ooh, hands in the cookie jar. That's a hint for who my favorite group is. I hope you were paying attention. So I'm like, God damn it. I get there like 2 hours early. I'm with one of my friends that went. And I'm like, I gotta get in line for Kingdom Hearts. I'm fucking jittery. I'm shaking. I gotta get in. I gotta play it. And I'm like, I walk up to one of the volunteers, whatever. I'm like, all right, where's the line for Kingdom Hearts? They're like, I have no fucking idea. I'm like, well, that sucks. So I start walking around asking people that are just standing in random lines. And they're like, I'm here for Kingdom Hearts? I don't know if this is the line. I'm like, well, that's a problem. So we all just decide to band together, all form a line next to the door where we know Kingdom Hearts is going to be, and block the hallway until someone tells us to move. That eventually happens, like, very quickly. And they move us outside. Mind you, this was the point where... I don't remember exactly what the date was, but it was like there was like a massive heat wave moving through LA at the time, and it was like 103, 104 degrees or something outside. So they move us outside to form a line. 104 degrees outside, no wind, sun, like no blocking the sun whatsoever, to the point where like stepping on the ground is burning your feet through your shoes.
Jesus
which
Christ.
is the first time I've ever experienced that. And we're having to like seek shelter under some of like the trees. And we wait there for 2 hours with still no, 100% confirmation that this is in fact where we need to be for Kingdom Hearts. And they're trying to set up, that kind of line that kind of squiggles back and forth, takes up less room.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, everybody can start moving the line this way. This is for Kingdom Hearts. Everyone start moving. Instead of following that fucking path, everyone just starts walking diagonally. So then there's people, physically restraining people and going like, hey, whoa, whoa, hey, whoa. You were not in front of me. So there was almost like a fucking brawl trying to get into the fucking area where Kingdom Hearts was. So then after 2.5, 3 hours total, you make it inside, and they let 20 people into the queue, and then a lady walks out with a sign. I'm literally 21, 22 in line, walks up with a sign, says, okay, we gotta close it off, you can't stand here and wait. I'm like, we can't just form another line. She's like, nope, can't form a line. You gotta disperse, walk around the convention center, come back. So me being me, I just walk through her and get in line. And she doesn't say anything. I'm like, great, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts. Fantastic. I'm glad we've sorted this problem out. And then I
Talk about no fucks given.
Dude, don't fuck with me in Kingdom Hearts. Please insert the picture of Xemnas looking at Kingdom Hearts and going, I can't believe someone interfered with my Kingdom Hearts.
I really hope you had a big, like, Buzz Lightyear t-shirt on or something.
Buzz. I used
Zerg,
my karate chop action to slice through the crowd and get in. But Square had like a double kiosk thing set up. On the left was Dragon Quest XI, and on the right was Kingdom Hearts 3. I can't even come up with the right word for how dead the Dragon Quest kiosks were. There were like 12 stations, roughly, and 2 guys manning that station, and they pulled out a box of t-shirts, and they're like begging people. They're like, please come play Dragon Quest, you get a free t-shirt.
So it's like Persona fans of 1 and 2 trying to legitimize them to fans of 3 through 5.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's more like Anime Expo 2016, where Persona, like, it was like Persona Q or something was playable, and they had like the big Persona 5 thing, and everyone's like, you think I'm gonna go fucking waste my time with whatever this other knockoff Persona shit is? But like they're like offering t-shirts. They're like, dude, if you play all you gotta do is just fucking get in line. Just get in this line, you get a t-shirt, and no one's fucking having it. And then the guys running the Kingdom Hearts side walk out, and they start messing with them. They're like, you guys having fun over there? Oh, there's no one over there? Oh man, that sucks. What game you got over there? Dragon Quest? And I'm like, don't you guys all work for Square? Should you be like throwing them under the bus like that?
Right?
But it was it was funny regardless. And I, being a piece of shit, I waved down the guy over at the Kingdom Hearts booth. I'm like, hey, I know you probably don't know anything, but why'd you guys bring Dragon Quest and not 12 Final Remix? And he looked at me, he's like, yeah, I know, right? He's like, you think you'd bring the anime game to the Anime Expo? I'm like, that's what I'm fucking saying. He's like, but to answer your question, I actually don't know anything about it. And I was like, that sucks. I was hoping to squeeze information out of you. And I was like, yeah, no, tell your higher-ups to bring the fucking anime game next time and not Dragon Quest. And then, we stayed in line for an hour and played Kingdom Hearts 3. It was bad. But
Caleb, Akira Toriyama has created a foundational art style for thousands of mangaka fan art with like
this
Dragon
game has
Ball.
Goofy in it. Fuck off. I don't care if some old Japanese man put his blood, sweat, and tears into something fucking Goofy goes,
yeah, fucking Mike Wazowski's in it now.
oh, man.
They've appealed to the main demographic, aka us.
Yeah. You put my little fucking green ball boy in there? Yeah, I'm gonna fucking play your video game. Yeah,
So,
I'm not gonna get into the whole fucking how good was Kingdom Hearts thing, but
I was actually gonna.
Oh, were you?
I was actually gonna ask you if you want to talk about it or not, because we talked about it plenty.
We
like
talked
on
about
my
it on
streams.
stream. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, give Brian something to talk about for once on this fucking show.
No, I'm up for it. I mean, like, yeah.
I mean, it's completely fine because we've already
sure.
I already know what Caleb's gonna say, so
yeah. Guess what?
I would just be listening again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind going over it quickly. If you want to add anything, by all means. Just like they had the 2 parts. They had like a little snippet of Toy Box to go through, and they had a little bit of the Titan fight in Olympus or whatever. And as expected, the Olympus part was very on rails, very underwhelming. You basically just wall run, which is like a very, very bad feeling wall run up 2 major walls. You fight like 1 mob, and then you fight a boss. And the whole time, it's just wanting you to do the attraction flow, which is extremely ineffective. I would never suggest it. I think it's going to be the absolute worst part of that video game. It's way better to just fight the boss. You do more damage with your Keyblade than you do attraction flow. And then Toy Box was a much more open, like 3 or 4 rooms, able to use flow motion pretty well, fight about 3 or 4 mobs, use the big robot mechas, which were probably the best part of the game that I played, to be honest. But, they block you out of your menu. You can't really see what abilities you have. You're very much playing the game that they want you to play, so you can't really get like a good idea of how it's going to be on final release. But it's floaty. It's considerably better than some of like the earlier footage that we've seen. but it definitely feels like Birth by Sleep trying to imitate Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, I think Star said that it's Birth by Sleep controls with a Kingdom Hearts 2 moveset or toolset.
Absolutely.
And yeah, which is pretty much what I got out of playing a Fragmentary Passage. Did you actually try... Were you able to use flow motion in the demo?
Yes.
Oh, how did that integrate? Just like in a Dream Drop Distance?
I don't remember it super well. I remember being very underwhelmed by it. It seemed like it was still there primarily for like vertical movement. You know, hop onto the wall, hop up, hop up, hop up, hop up. That's all it was really good for. But then it's also kind of invalidated by the wall running, because you can pretty much do that off of any vertical surface too. But it seems like flow motion's kind of better. I don't know. It's really iffy. Combat-wise, though, it seems like really ineffective.
It seems really weird because it's obvious that this Kingdom Hearts is like trying to integrate all the gimmicks of like the previous iterations together.
Absolutely.
Except for like Recoded's debugging system.
Yeah, hey, who knows?
Don't.
No, I mean, this game very much wants to bring back every single individual mechanic that any Kingdom Hearts has ever had.
I guess you could say that those on-rails bug sections of Coded were like running up the wall in a way.
God damn. You got it. I mean, just wait till you get to play as Replica Riku. I'm sure they'll have some special fucking bullshit.
Either way, one of these Rikus is getting Norded.
Oh, absolutely. I hope all of them do.
I was at Video Games New York over the weekend, which ties into a story I'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But I was telling them about my my master plan to start Kingdom Hearts as confused as I can possibly be.
Hell yeah.
By starting with Dream Drop Distance.
Yep, I was gonna say, you're starting with 3D, aren't you?
and they caught on to that too, and they were like, dude, no. You're just gonna want to not even hear about Kingdom Hearts ever again. And I'm like, it'll be fine, I'll only play it for like 2-3 hours. And he'll be like, dude, 30 minutes in, you're not gonna want to indulge in this series ever again.
I still think it's a genius idea.
I think it'd be really funny. I think it'd be fucking hilarious.
Oh, like I told Colin, it'll be great because you'll just start off the game like, why is Yen Sid talking to these two bi-shonen anime heroes?
Like, well, bystander, it's funny as shit.
I explained that to the fucking to the Video Games New York guy, and he's like, yeah, but that's all of them, just hours in rather than immediately.
He's not even wrong.
I think my favorite part of that exchange was there was this guy in the store who was just looking for games on his PS3, and he doesn't really know too much about games, and he was like, and he's like, you say you don't play a lot of fighting games, and yet you're wearing a fighting game t-shirt, and the guy's wearing a fucking Kingdom Hearts t-shirt.
He's talking about the fight you have with yourself when you play through those games.
By the way, I'm actually going to spend this quick moment talking about Video Games New York to mention that I made a friend while I was at Video Games New York. I know, right? Big shocker. And I otherwise wouldn't shill other people's content, except that his Twitter is fucking amazing. And I absolutely love it. Because it's just the same thing over and over again every single day.
Damn.
What the fuck am I looking at?
It's a picture of him in the morning and a picture of him at night.
Every morning I break my arms. Every afternoon I break my legs.
And he has stickers of it. He had stickers of these images.
That's awesome. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's a real cool guy. Shout out. There you go.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, go back to Kangdom.
Oh, Kangdom. No, I think that's a great idea in terms of like people watching you do it and the conversation. But the problem is that the most confusing game, which is Dream Drop Distance, is arguably the worst
one
in
as
the
well.
Gameplay. So you're totally going to get like 30 minutes in and be like, fuck this.
I still say the worst one is Recoded.
It is a competition between those two for sure, but I feel like Recoded is less offensive overall.
I personally think Dream Drop Distance is less offensive, but the part that gets me for Recoded is it's just another content recycle of worlds, and the story does absolutely nothing. I don't like saying like story in game should dictate its quality, but literally if you're like playing what is Recoded? Like, it's actually like the 5th entry in the series in terms of releases.
God. Okay, you've got 1 Chain of Memories, 2 Rechain of Memories, 358,
and then 6? Coded, right? No, Birth by Sleep. No,
Birth by Sleep came first.
After, yeah.
So 7.
Yeah, because I had Birth by Sleep in high school, and when I was in college, I got Coded. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you fucking count original Coded too. If you want to go down that hole. Let's just go with
Recoded, because that's the version we got here in the West.
Yeah.
So it's like entry 6. Yeah, and Chain of Memories was already a content recycle for the most part, and if you played the remake, I guess you can say you experienced it all over again. And so experiencing that for a 4th time in a new game, and you know what? Fucking, you also had to recycle some areas for 358. So this is like actually your 4th or 5th entry, and it's just like I fucking hate revisiting these areas.
Sure, and in your defense, Recoded has literally, if you deleted that game, nothing of value would be lost out of the lore. 100%. Meanwhile, Chain of Memories and 358 actually have like pretty good stuff going on and can stand on their own as just completely individual games. Recoded cannot. Recoded is not a good game, but Dream Drop Distance is so offensive in so many of the things that it does that personally I can't stomach it. But I'm not going to argue with you when you say that Recoded is the worst. Like, they're both awful. I would not suggest either of them to anybody.
Oh my gosh, once you know about Balloonra in Dream Drop Distance, it's like, what's even the point in trying to get good at the game?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah. That's a big problem, Colin, you'll probably find. If you can erase the word Balloonra from your memory, you'll probably have a better time with Dream Drop Distance.
But I want to have the worst time possible. That's the...
Then stock up on balloons, baby!
To be honest, I don't think abusing Balloon would give him a bad experience, because playing that game the way that it was, quote, meant to be played is the worst gaming experience I've ever had.
Honestly, I think it's equally as terrible, but for different reasons.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, it's the same thing as just abusing Barrier Surge and Birth by Sleep. But
yeah, Barrier or Thunder Surge, depending on like it depends on. I know when I'm saying I'm not necessarily saying it's bad. I'm just saying like it's comparatively one of the worst Kingdom Hearts games. But I would say Recoded is flat out bad. I don't think I'd say that about Dream Drop Distance. I'd say it's mediocre.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think Dream Drop Distance could get to that point if they would trim a lot of the fucking mechanics they have going on.
Yeah, that's one thing I worry about Kingdom Hearts 3 with. Like, it's very obvious just from looking at the trailers that we're dealing with a lot of feature creep. Like literally flow motion. Then we have reaction commands to work off of. Then we have flow attractions. Yep. Then we've got these weird new floaty, like slidey controls on top of like the shot lock system.
Yeah, on top of attraction flow, on top of switching your keyblades for different forms.
Yeah, which was something Birth by Sleep also introduced. God, it's just... I don't like how much those stack on top of each other, and from how it worked in actually, if anyone watching this, including you, Caleb, like have not watched Mydax's videos on Kingdom Hearts or Bloody Bizkit's video on Birth by Sleep: The Turning Point, I'd recommend them. They're really good videos.
The Bloody Biscuits video in particular is very, very good. I have seen that one.
Yeah, Mydax's is called Beyond the X Button.
Oh, okay. I have seen that one then. I remember that title.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I can't remember if he did another Kingdom Hearts one.
Unsure.
I want to say he did.
Did he do one for 1 and for 2?
Let me actually look him up right now.
Yeah,
he did one. He did Beyond the X Button, and then he did Situation Commands, the vehicle, the continued influence of Birth by Sleep. Yeah, those are both really good videos. If you want, you can also check out his Sonic ones. He did I don't know if I've necessarily like flat out agree with his opinion on The Last Guardian, but he did a pretty good Last Guardian video as well.
Cool.
The guy's only got like 4,000 subs, 4,374. So yeah, anyone watching this should go watch Mydax and subscribe to him. He's great, trust me.
Yeah, 100%. Especially if you're just like in-depth Kingdom Hearts stuff like I do. Really good watch.
Yeah, no, like there's a lot of great Kingdom Hearts content out there, and I really like Mydax's Kingdom Hearts 1, and I like Bloody Biz Kids because I really like the gameplay of. Well, Caleb, you and I both fucking adore Kingdom Hearts 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I pretty much think it's probably my favorite action RPG ever made.
Yeah.
I can still play that game to this day and say this is so fucking polished.
Same.
This is I don't think I've played an action RPG since Kingdom Hearts 2 that's come out that I've said is better than
I haven't. I mean,
you haven't?
I mean, unless you count The World Ends With You, but they're so fucking different.
Those are so we're talking more like...
Yeah, I know, but it's still an action RPG.
Yeah.
But they are very different.
Yeah, when we're saying action RPG, we're not like including action games as a whole. We wouldn't compare it to like Devil May Cry and say like Kingdom Hearts 2 is flat out better.
Yeah, there's a difference between ARPGs.
I was waiting for Caleb to do that.
There's a difference between ARPGs and character action game.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think Kingdom Hearts 2 is one of the few games that kind of treads in the middle between those two things, though.
A little bit.
I would not say it goes nearly, far enough into character action, but it's right there in between the two.
There's a lot of depth to its systems. And if you ever do a level 1 run, we've both done level 1 runs of it, right,
Yep.
Caleb?
Yep.
Yeah, like you get to like drastically better understand those games' mechanics, and personally for me, I came to appreciate the game a whole lot more because it really requires you to be aware of what you are capable of doing and what your opponent's capable of doing. I'm still trying to go my way through it. I know we're supposed to stream more Kingdom Hearts soon, Caleb, and I want to do more of like finishing up like level 1. Like recently I did the first 2, I think, tournaments in Olympus Coliseum at level 1, and holy fucking hell, those are like a bitch to do.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you don't have second chance, you don't have once more. Enemies can just one-shot you, so you have to be extremely careful. It's not like Kingdom Hearts 1's level 1 run where enemies deal your max HP -1.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely... If you really like Kingdom Hearts and you want to push like your skill, definitely shoot for a level 1 run.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't get the people who say Kingdom Hearts 2 is a bad game.
Look, there are things with Kingdom Hearts 2 that I totally get when people look at it and they don't like it, and that's because the biggest flaws in Kingdom Hearts 2 are its inability to properly teach the player how to play the game.
Oh,
and
no,
if
totally.
you're playing on anything that's not critical, you're having a bad experience with Kingdom Hearts 2.
You're pretty much just playing a button masher.
Right. And if you play critical, the game doesn't teach you. You have to throw your head against a wall repeatedly until you learn yourself how to play the game on critical. So there's no good option for anybody, really, except for just picking critical and getting through it.
Yeah, I think if you want...
biggest issue.
I think probably the best boss battle simply in Kingdom Hearts 2 for how well it teaches the player to like be mindful of their actions is probably Terra.
Dance, water, dance.
I would say Terra, and you know what? Demix for sure.
Dance, water, dance.
Demix on level 1, let me fucking tell you.
Yeah.
So there's actually this part in Kingdom Hearts 2's level 1 run where after you finish Demix, well actually this is just for everything. When you finish Demix, you have to do like that onslaught of enemies with the Final Fantasy characters.
The Final Fantasy hallway, yes.
Yes. If you die during that sequence, you get sent back before the Demix fight.
That sequence is arguably more difficult than the Demyx fight.
I was so glad when I did my level 1 run, because I got through it perfectly fine the first time through. Mm-hmm. So I did not have to fight Demyx again. And the terrible part about Demyx is he's so fucking hard.
I think he might be the most well-designed boss in the game, in retrospect.
He's... I can kind of get that. He's very consistent. He's very easy to predict, and he does require you to do a lot of spacing, so...
I feel like he's the most intuitive, but being a challenge at the same time.
No, yeah, I can get that.
He's also, like, on any other difficulty that's not critical, like the first time that you actually hit a wall and you can't just button mash through the game.
Yeah. He's also a point where you'll probably learn that your magic... I think your magic in general, specifically fire, doesn't deal revenge value, right? Mm. Yeah, that's a really like good... That. Yeah. When you do level 1 runs, you need to be very mindful of revenge values.
Yeah, I would say that.
But once you learn, like, every character's, like, revenge value... Well, you won't really learn the revenge value, but you'll learn to, like, get a feel of, like, I can do X into a finisher so many amount of times before he retaliates. And once you get a hang of that, like, the game kind of becomes a cakewalk, but there's still that randomness to their AI that makes it like, what's it gonna fucking do?
Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing that I can get people get kind of frustrated with, because there's no,
There's, like, no...
There's nothing on screen indicating when something's going to revenge before it happens.
Yeah,
you just kind of have to trial and error your way through it.
It's not so much of an issue on lower difficulties, because you can pretty much take the hit and live.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, but if you try and do, like, Data Xemnas at level 1, like, that's not great. I did learn, like, the pattern to Xemnas 2's opening spiral warp kick, where he's we shall go together. And then he knocks you in the air, and then you just have to do, like, reversals all over the place.
No,
like,
you just activate session. Oh wait, you can on Data. Never mind.
So the cool thing about that fight is that there's, like, actually a pattern of, like, when you're able to reflect and get easy damage in on him. It's so... I think it's like you do a reversal, then a reflect, reversal, reflect, reversal. I don't know, it's been a while, but it's like you can deal, like, almost a bar of damage to him just by, like, exploiting that, and it's super good. When you do it, you feel like a badass.
I feel like a badass anytime you exploit fucking Reflega.
You really do. That's one thing I really like about Kingdom Hearts 2's combo system, is that the magic system is built to work into your main combo system, and it's super good. It's super fluid, and then, like, you can also combo out of your magic, and it's so good. Nothing
feels better than hitting a Reflega, having it damage somebody, stagger them, and then you combo them out of it. Nothing feels better than that.
The best way to put... Well, I would say, specifically, attack, guard, then Reflega, then you do your finisher explosion.
Or you attack, limit form, Ars Arcanum. Then you don't do the finisher, then you Ars Arcanum again, then you do the finisher.
But you always gotta drop the finisher, like, on your limits with limit form, because those deal revenge value damage. But your normal attacks don't, and it's weird. But, like, when you learn those intricacies, like, you come to appreciate the game a whole lot more.
And that's the problem, is we can, because we've just played the game to death.
Yeah.
And without that, you're just like, this game is a piece of shit. It is not giving me anything that I need. Also, fuck the light cycle.
Oh my gosh, there's just so much. There's a fucking amazing game buried underneath standard mode.
Yep, there really is.
And I just wish more people could appreciate that.
But I don't blame them for not.
Yeah, I mean, you still got a fun game at the end of the day, and even if you play it mindlessly, you're still having fun, so... But you still have to be, there still has to be like some level of skill like involved in how you're playing the game. You don't want to just be mindlessly mashing the R1 button to exploit the enemy's weakness in Persona 5.
Hey, and that's exactly why Dimmix exists. He is that one time to just make sure that you're paying attention, and then the rest of the game's a cakewalk.
Yeah. What a fucking test to throw in the player's way.
I love it.
No, it's a good boss fight. I know Dax, like, I think Luxord might actually be another good example. Maybe Syx, too.
Luxord's a problem on critical, but I feel like you can just tank too much of his shit on anything else.
Yeah,
Syx, maybe. I think Syx would be a good second choice.
Yeah. There's also the Pirates of the Caribbean Heartless that steals the coins.
The Grim Reaper?
Yeah, the Grim Reaper, and you have to like freeze him and also use thunder on him to like stand a chance. Yeah, those are pretty good ones in my opinion.
Yeah, Grim Reaper's a good boss.
By the way, when I saw you playing Kingdom Hearts 2 the other day and fighting the Grim Reaper boss, why didn't you stand on the boxes in the corners?
I didn't know about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, okay, so, near the port?
Oh, I know now.
Oh, you know now?
I watched a stream after that.
Because
I was like, oh.
I was watching that entire thing, and I was like, what the fuck's Caleb doing? There are boxes there.
You have to remember, I grew up for like 10 years playing this game no higher than proud. Because we didn't have access to it, and I didn't like go out of my way to get Final Mix.
Yeah, the thing about me is I imported Final Mix the month it came out, so I've been playing Critical Mode for my gosh, it's been a decade.
So like I did my first Critical run when 2.8 whatever the fuck
2.5
1.5 2.5 HD, that's what it is. When that shit came out, that was the first Critical I did. And then I jumped straight into level 1. So both of those were really, really, really rough playthroughs.
Yeah. How many times do you think you died on level 1?
I don't know. All I know is there were 3 parts in particular that I just died a shit ton on. And that was the hallway in where you get Auron in Olympus.
Yeah.
That fucking hallway sucks. Like the little 3 parts where Hades is throwing fireballs at you.
Yeah, Major League Slugger Hades. That's what people refer to him as. Yeah.
That was one of my biggest walls. Zaldin was another big wall.
Oh, fuck Zaldin.
Zaldin's my least favorite part of the whole game. I hate Zaldin so much.
Did you do what I had to do and just keep hoping Mickey, like, revives you?
I did, but I didn't win any of those. I ended up winning one when I have a video of it somewhere. I don't remember exactly what I did. I did some dumb shit, but Mickey was not very kind to me on that. And then I think it was Zigbar was my third.
Zigbar's pretty tough. I had to end up exploiting like the staggering with Donald's Trinity.
Duck
flare. Like if you it's duck flare if you exploit
or is it Comet?
It's duck flare. Maybe it is called Comet and duck flare is the name of the reaction command.
Yeah, maybe, I forget.
It's
all muscle memory at this point.
Yeah, so my biggest obstacles in that game were Demyx, Zaldin, probably Zigbar, and Roxas, but I feel like Roxas is difficult for most people on any difficulty, to be honest. He's another wall. I actually have a video on Twitter of me like fighting Roxas, and I only took like 1 hit, and even then that was because I fucked up the timing on something slightly. Otherwise it was like a perfect run. But no, like Kingdom Hearts 2, fucking amazing game. I still love it. The controls in that. You know when a game has skateboarding that lets Sora like 360 flip and then go to Winnie the Pooh's world? You know it's gonna be a good time.
Hell yeah. Dude, I fucking love Kingdom Hearts 2. It's the only game that I sometimes have to go, wait, is that actually my favorite game?
It might be my favorite game. I'm not sure. It's definitely the game I can replay the most, though.
Same. 100%. Same. Toei has no fucking... It can't hold a candle to that in terms of replayability for me.
Because I really like Majora's Mask, I really like Persona 4 Golden, but I would play Kingdom Hearts 2 again over them any day.
And guess what? We will.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get a load of these degenerates. Now talk about KCON LA.
Yeah, speaking of degeneracy.
Sorry for the rant. I like Kingdom Hearts.
No, we want you to talk on your podcast.
I know it's an issue. I should talk more on my podcast.
We'll drag it out of you even if we have to fucking unlock your heart with a keyblade.
There, we got 10 minutes out of him. Now we can go back to...
Yeah. Now, back down the rabbit hole with you.
Yeah.
Alright, so after Anime Expo was a fucking disaster, and I ended up spending topical most of the time in the hotel playing Kingdom Hearts 2 again. Came back home, and then I decided, alright, in 3 weeks, I gotta go back to LA. So,
damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
you know what would be great, though?
Hmm?
You know what would be great that would have fit your situation a lot more?
What?
Kingdom Hearts 2 on the Switch. When are we getting that?
I have talked about that quite a bit.
I'm just saying, I would love it. Wait, is that it for KCON?
No.
No.
Go. Yeah. Okay. I was like, go on.
No, I got distracted. I'm sorry. Mid-conversation.
No, it's fine.
God. And you have to fucking say Kingdom Hearts on Switch and get my heart racing again.
Well, you're getting Tui. We both really want that one.
Yeah, let's not even get to that. That's a whole other hour conversation.
We can do that like on another Pood if we have
for
one.
sure. We'll do that 100%. But yeah, KCON LA was a much more fun experience. I ended up going with 2 friends. We flew out from here and got an Airbnb. Had a great time. We all went for like one group in particular. But this time we were like, you know what? We all really, really like this one group. Let's just fucking blow all of our fucking money and get the big boy, big britch package and just fucking live it up. So we paid an ungodly amount of money each and got the platinum package, which meant like absolutely nothing except for like we get to stand at the stage. And we got, put in a pool. It was like, hey, you get a little card pack when you sign up, and it'll have meet and greets with 3 random groups. I'm like, all right, that's sick. And we get our cards, we open them up at the same time. They don't get the group. I do. I fall to the floor. There's a video on Twitter of me falling on my knees and screaming. That's really cool.
So Caleb,
you need to post that
through the power of elimination. I'm assuming it's one of the 5 I originally said. And I'm assuming it's not a boy band. And I remember you telling me Brown Eyed Girls were okay, and I assume Girls' Gen is too basic for you, so I'm assuming it's Red Velvet.
Hey, he got it, ladies and gentlemen. Red Velvet is my favorite K-pop group.
God damn it.
Right.
I wanted to keep it a mystery.
Don't worry, there's a part 2 to this. He's not done yet.
We haven't even reached the bonus round.
It's not even my final form.
Double Jeopardy.
I'm like Rock Lee fighting Gara. I haven't even dropped the weights yet, dude.
Oh my fuck up.
You know what's terrible, Caleb? What? I was watching that fight earlier today.
I was doing my fucking weekly Rock Lee fight montage.
The 4th seal.
You know what breaking the 4th seal is? Going to your first K-pop convention. But no, Red Velvet, I love them to death. I think they're really legitimately good group outside of just K-pop. I think they're actually very talented. But they were at New York. I saw them. I loved them. It was great. There's another group that I kind of obsess over a little bit more. They're just very fun to keep up with. I don't like them musically as much, but they went to LA, and the 3 of us were very, 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 very big fans of them. So we were like, all right, collectively that is our favorite group. So that's why we, hashtag big spenders, and we were like, oh, we hope we get the high touches, which are the meet and greets. They're called high touches because you walk up a set of stairs, and all your girls, all your boys are standing in a line, and you walk up and you high five all of them, and that's what you get. Don't touch them, Don't touch the girls. High five them and you leave. If you linger too long, their manager walks up and says, "Hey, fuck off." And that is the most genuine K-pop experience of my life. So all 3 of us got to do that. Met that group. Walked up. I'm like, you know what? I'm doing all right. I'm not like having a fucking panic attack or anything. This is just a really neat experience. And then I'm like next in line and my heart sinks. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm having a panic attack. And I look at the first girl. She's got these fucking porcelain eyes and she's looking back at me. She smiles at me. I'm like, all right, I'm frozen. This is not good. And then I start like, "Anasayo," bowing to all of them, high-fiving them. And then I realize I'm at the end of the line. I'm like, oh, I don't remember any of it. I don't remember anything that just happened. And I still barely remember any of it.
Damn.
Yep. But I got Twitter famous from it. Because I was in the front of the line. I'm a big boy. And I was wearing a Squirtle shirt. And someone was like, "Oh man, look at that dude in the Squirtle shirt. I wonder if he stands Neon." Which, I'm sorry, I just said that sentence. That's the worst thing I've ever said in my life.
Who?
Squirrel Squad! Squirrel Squad!
Yeah, Squirrel Squad! Hashtag Squirrel Squad. So...
I'm gonna need a link to this after this.
Yeah, no, you got it. You absolutely got it. So, a little bit of fucking K-pop lingo breakdown. I'm sorry I have to do this. I didn't make these words myself. But... Standing means that you obsess over that particular group. So, like, I stan Red Velvet, because I can't just say, "Hey, I'm a big fan of Red Velvet," because that's just frowned upon. So you have to say, "I stan Red Velvet."
Stan is a reference to an old Eminem song.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and if you like one girl out of a group, you have to go, "That's my bias. That's my bias right there." You can't just say that's your favorite. You gotta go, "That's my bias."
This is the most degenerate thing I've heard so far.
There's your fucking 1-2 lingo that I didn't make up. I'm sorry I have to follow it to be a cool kid. Or the 12-year-old girls won't think I'm cool. But, I'm wearing a Squirtle shirt, and it's a reference to my bias in the group that we're going to see, because she likes Squirtle. Everyone calls her Squirtle. And I'm holding this big fucking paddle with her face on it, because, yeah, I'm that far down deep. And I see, the other idols, like, pointing at me and pointing at her, going like, "Hey, look, he's got your stuff." She's just not having it. She's having a bad day. I'm like, that sucks, whatever. I'd be upset too if some fucking fat retard walked up with my face on a paddle and was trying to get my attention too. Don't worry about it. And anyway, someone took a picture of my shirt and they were like, "Oh man, I wonder if he stands that girl." And my friend took a picture of me holding it and she was like, "Yeah, he does." And then someone was like, "Oh, is he single?" And I was like, "Oh no, this is getting out of hand. You're probably 12. Abort. Shut Twitter down." So I'll post that thread later. That was really interesting. I got scared real fast.
Caleb, you're a precious baby boy and will always protect you.
Thank you so much. I wish you would have been there to protect me when I decided, hey, I got my girl group high touch. Let's get rid of the boy group ones that I'd rather other people have, because, I want people to have a good time. And other people would get better use out of this than me. So I walk out, I hear this girl going, "Hey, does anyone have the 17 high touch?" I'm looking to trade. I'm like, "Yeah, I totally got it." I'm trying to be discreet. I'm like, "Yeah, I got you. You can totally have this." I start ripping the card off to give to her. And then all of a sudden I get swarmed by about 30 to 40, 20-year-old girls screaming at me. And I'm not being facetious or joking in the slightest bit when I say I was actually having a real anxiety attack at this point, because there are just hands grabbing at me and screams coming my way of people trying to purchase this ticket, this magical Willy Wonka fucking ticket out of my hand. And I got people going like, "I'll give you $100, I'll give you $300, I'll give you $800. And I'm like, oh boy.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And I'm like, yeah, 800 sounds great, wowie zowie. Like, my brain's not even working at this point. So, and then this girl's like, "Yeah, do you have Venmo?" I'm like, "No, I don't leave the house. Why would I have Venmo?" And she's like, "You don't have Venmo." And then she pissed me off because she was getting an attitude with me, so I sold it to the other girl for like $200. Her friend got mad at me. It was really good.
Poor boy, I just want to tuck you into bed with a copy of Tui, Final Remix.
Don't worry. Oh, yeah, that would be nice. I was going to say I'd do it anyway, but I'd like to play Final Remix really bad.
I'm really excited for Final Oh, that's right, we were talking about this. It is called Final Remix because Nomura loves his remixes, but it's like, are we ever gonna get a sequel? Because it seems like they were teasing like a sequel.
100% getting a sequel to this game.
But it's like, I also don't want. Excuse you.
Sorry, I'm dying.
No,
my voice is actually still busted from the convention. 100%.
No, it's perfectly fine. I'm just like, do you think they're gonna? We know that they're doing like extra epilogue content. Do you think that's gonna be like an extra week?
I don't think. I think asking for a week is asking for a lot. I honestly don't know what to expect from it.
I'm kind of expecting like 3 days, right?
I mean, I would expect just like another day over again.
Really?
But like a little bit more sizable, perhaps?
Yeah, probably.
Something just a little bit more open and freeform, maybe, but like it also could just have no gameplay whatsoever. It could literally just be cutscenes.
That's like one thing I'm worried about, though.
I am as well, but like we haven't seen any gameplay from the epilogue.
You just like play the epilogue. It's like hardcore tin pin.
Oh my god! Like, no, that's what the original fucking game's epilogue is.
I know. Tin Pin is such a weird one.
Yeah.
I remember enjoying my time with Tin Pin for the most part.
Yeah, Tin Pin's neat. Like, if they would actually, like, flesh it out. Not like it needs a whole lot to it, but, like, I'd play the shit out of it.
I'm wondering if they're not showing epilogue content simply for the sake of, like, not spoiling it for those who are going to be new to it.
I mean, I would hope so, but at the same time, it's Square. And Square never seemed to be too conservative about spoilers before.
Yeah, like, especially when it came... well, it depends. Like, when it came to, like, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, like, Kingdom Hearts 2 had been out for, like, a year at that point, and a lot of the new content was specifically designed around what happened afterwards. So, like, we already had screen caps of, like, the new secret ending, the Terra boss battle, we also had screenshots, of course, with, like, the Chain of Memories remake. But yeah, I mean, because Japan does kind of seem to be, like, perfectly fine with spoiling shit like that. Like, Dragon Ball, like, 2 months before Goku goes Ultra Instinct, they show it off, like, in the magazine.
Yeah.
And... yeah, well, I mean, they've kind of shown off the new girl, but that's, like, a single screen, right? Like, other than that, it's
that
like
was
nothing.
That was, like, a special thing anyway that we'd already seen far long ago.
It was, like, a different thing, but we recognized the characters from, like, it was the iPhone, right? Like, the iPhone port that had that tease?
It was the Solo Remix.
Yeah. Well, I'm down for the Switch version. I just question how it's going to play. Like, because the previous one really focused on 2 screens.
Yeah, I mean, that's... they'll never be able to recreate the DS TWEWY feel, and I think they're aware of that, which is why I'm down with them trying to, like, remix the first game until they have a decent concept for single-screen combat before they move on to a sequel.
Yeah, they're currently...
like, in that regard...
They've announced, I think I was reading, that they have like a weird pseudo 2-player co-op mode with the split Joy-Cons to kind of replicate that.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oof.
That was... sorry
what
about that.
cat ran into your microphone?
Dexter. Why are you doing this, kid? Whoa!
But then they also have pointer controls.
He knocked over Marina!
Good.
She's not
another
a goblin.
win for the great Colin Durant.
another great win for the Goblin Army.
Splatfest is canceled.
I am thinking of doing one of Callie with Pearl after I do Marie with Marina.
Damn. Burn that picture.
I really like Marina and Marie. Like, they're my favorites. Next to the Goblin.
No, I'm kidding. I love Marina and Marie. Marie's my favorite.
I like Pearl because she's just got, like, that shit-eating grin.
Me Dodger Pearl. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm scared about TWEWY, but I'm also very excited about TWEWY. I'm in the boat. Like, I'm very vocal that I want a sequel just because I love the game so much. But it's not even from, like, a lore perspective as much as, like, there are a lot of half-baked ideas in that game that just couldn't come to fruition that I'd like to see either removed or polished up. It's just a very interesting video game to me, and I'd like to see more so spiritual successors of that instead of direct sequels, because like the story's fine where it's at.
Yeah, the story's open and shut like as fuck. Yeah, you don't need a sequel to that. A successor, sure, but
yeah, I want the systems, not the characters again. You know. Like,
yeah,
I love the characters. I had a great time seeing them in Dream Drop Distance, but like I don't need more of them.
I'm fine if it's like the world ends with you too, but it does like the Final Fantasy way of doing things. Know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, there have been multiple Reapers games, and don't they even say in the game that Shibuya is not the only Reaper game or something like that? Like, don't they just have them everywhere?
Set it in Detroit.
So
I don't know why I went with Detroit.
I mean, I'll say this much in terms of like shit coming to the Switch, which is that like early on in the year, I was, like, oh no, like, is like
the drought.
I had really hoped that third-party support would really pick up, and because I don't think I've said this on Pood before, but like I'm not impressed by Nintendo games on Nintendo consoles. Not to say that like, Zelda sucks, but more of like, when I see Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey running on Switch, I'm like, yeah, Nintendo can do that. They're fucking wizards. They make 10 out of 10 video games that like look and run really good. But those things are all for naught if there's not, anything else happening in between that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the first half of this year wasn't super great with it. I mean, we had the Wii U ports, which I know a lot of people complain about. I don't think it's that bad, if only because I know that there's more people with a Switch now than ever owned a Wii U. Like, it just makes sense to bring those games to the Switch and try to make any kind of profit off them. But the third-party support has really been picking up. We're still not, seeing major games released, but, I mean, I'm enjoying what is coming out on the thing between all the indies and remakes and even, ports and shit. I think that's, like, grand.
Stand out.
Yeah.
I'd much rather have a console that stands out and offers me, like, just different things to pick from than just, like, hey, I can get Black Ops 4 on my Switch.
That was the thing I loved about the Switch last year, was that, like, the lineup of games wasn't huge, but it was, like, diverse. Like, every game coming out was drastically different from the last. And this year, that's still the case. I don't think the games we've been getting are super samey in any way, shape, or form. Even if they don't hit particularly well, they're still, like, consistent and different. Yeah, which is why all these Gamescom announcements have been pretty rad. Because we're just getting, like, like, holy shit. We're getting fucking all these obscure RPGs and also Saints Row the Third for some reason. Yeah. Like, they're coming out of left field, but it's super duper good. But yeah, Sega, put Shenmue 1 and 2 on the Switch. Oh yeah. We're gonna get fucking The World Ends With You and Saints Row on the same console. How fucking weird is that?
Colin, is it okay to mention what you said about Shenmue?
Not. It should be. No, it should be.
Not this thing. The thing about the 360.
Yeah. No, I'll just go over. Basically, I so the other day, so I spent the whole weekend in New York City. I didn't come home until last night, and we're recording this on the night of the 21st, and I came home the night of the 20th. The Shenmue HD 1 and 2 remakes did not come out until today, on Tuesday, but I was in New York City all weekend, and there's a lot of independent game stores in New York that just sell games early. They basically just sell games as soon as they come in. Because release dates are bullshit. Yeah. They're straight up just marketing. It turns out there really is nothing stopping a store from selling a game as soon as they get it outside of just obligation.
Some of them do have contracts with the companies providing, and if you do break that, there could be legal recourse. But otherwise, generally, like, you can put it on shelf immediately. That's why, like, that's why you can go to Barnes and Noble and, like, find a book that's not out for another week and just buy it.
But there are slips, there's cracks in the system, and on top of that, usually you're not getting these games direct from the publisher, you're getting them through a supplier. And it kind of muddies the whole situation. So, you know, there's been times where Best Buy has sent me Earth Defense Force early, or Pokken DX early. But I decided to go to one of the major video game stores in New York, and I picked up a copy of Shenmue 1 and 2 for the Xbox. And I was telling a friend about it, who's a really big Shenmue fan, and he was like, oh yeah, Microsoft can ban you for playing a game early. And I went, well, that's kind of ridiculous, because the other two companies don't give a shit. If you put a PlayStation game into a PS4, like, Sony doesn't crack down, and neither does Nintendo either. I think the only time Nintendo cares is if it's like Pokemon.
Something like that.
But you know, other than that, no, you're usually fine. But I looked into it, and yes, there is a on the Xbox Live terms and service. It says they basically have this wall of text that comes down to, if you got a game early and you play it, you probably pirated it and will suspend you. And there is exactly one sentence that's like, oh, if you somehow magically, by some miracle, actually did get a legitimate copy of the game early, just unplug your Xbox from the internet. And it's like, that's really fucking weird. And I don't know. I don't think there is more to this story. It's not just this Microsoft thing, because apparently Sega has also been super worried about Shenmue 1 and 2 HD going out early, and I'm not going to go super deep into that, because that involves all sorts of just, like, stupid bullshit. The game's fine. It's Shenmue 1 and 2 in HD. It's exactly what everyone wanted. There was no possible way of them screwing it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play
You hear that,
right
Sega? You didn't screw it up. But
Sega's just a little gun shy after the Yakuza incident.
But yeah, basically, I don't know. I don't think breaking street date is something that should go punished, especially not the end user. Because it's like, if you're going to punish someone who got so excited they managed to get a legitimate full-priced copy of the game like 2 days early, what are you doing?
Especially, like, imagine if it's somebody who doesn't keep up the games like we do, and they don't know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I actually got kind of worried, because I was, I mean, luckily, the store I go to doesn't carry a lot of Xbox One games, because... But... I was like, man, what if anyone else picked it up and just didn't know, and they went home and they put fucking, I don't know, Rise of the Tomb Raider in 2 days early, and they got banned from Xbox Live for like 3 days or whatever.
Yeah. How are they gonna know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We both got the Xbox One version of Shenmue HD.
It makes sense. The Xbox is the Dreamcast spiritual successor.
There was a tidbit, though, you told me about, which is what I was referring to earlier about the development of the HD versions.
Oh yeah, apparently I don't know how much into this I can really go into, but essentially, from what I understand, they've been wanting to do this forever, and they were just never able to get it working for some reason.
Yeah, since
I wonder,
early launch of the 360 or around that time period, they've been trying to do these HD ports, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think right now Sega is in a spot where they I mean, that was like their whole... They had a whole presentation like half a year ago when they, which included the announcement of these Shenmue 1 and 2 HD, and it seems like Sega just really wants to get people to like Sega again. They really want to bring back franchises people like. Which is true, because people bitch about, like, Nintendo not revisiting their old properties, but, like, I don't know. Like, for the years we never got a Metroid game, never in my mind did I think, oh yeah, they're just done with Metroid. Like, that's just not Nintendo. Like, I figured it was gonna come back at some point.
It's only like that with F-Zero.
Yeah,
Star Tropics. Wonderful 101.
But those are, like, I think F-Zero's, though, the only one that's, like, could be considered a major Nintendo franchise. Like, Star Tropics is just, like, 2 random butt-fuck games from the NES.
I still think Star Tropics has the potential to... Now, this is going to be weird and probably going to sound stupid to a lot of people, but I think, like, you could make Nintendo's Uncharted with those games, but not like a shooter, more like... When I picture a Star Tropics game nowadays, I kind of picture, like, The Adventures of Tintin.
Yeah.
Which is, like, I'd be down for that. I'd really like to see that. I like Adventures of Tintin.
But, like, for the most part, Nintendo at least knows how to keep the majority of its franchise's fans happy.
Yeah.
Sega is really bad with it because they have so much. They have so much more than just fucking Sonic.
Yeah.
And that's all they do. All they do is Sonic. You know, like, we haven't seen another Outrun in forever, Afterburner, fucking Streets of Rage, Virtua Fighter.
We're getting a new Sakura Wars, though.
Yeah. Sakura Wars, there was supposed to be a Space Channel 5 thing, but that has seemed to vanish. Shenmue's, of course, getting a 3rd game, but no Crazy Taxi. No Samba de Amigo.
Would a lot of these arcadey games even hold up, though? In terms of, like, could they just make another Crazy Taxi and it perform as well as they would want it to?
I think they could. They just made another Daytona USA and it did fine. True. And people really like it.
I would like them to really make another traditional Phantasy Star. And Shining Force. I don't like the Shining Resonance refrain.
Also,
crap.
Jet Set, because if I don't say Jet Set, everyone's going to yell at me.
I was specifically avoiding Jet Set, because that one seems so obvious.
I love
Panzer Dragoon.
Yes!
There's so much. Sega has, honestly...
Monkey Ball.
Yeah, they have one of the best, like, back catalogs of, I think, any major company, and they just do nothing with them.
It sucks to think, too, that, like, the Sonic problem's so bad that where it's even starting to, like, bleed into Sonic and All-Stars Racing. Like, they're just dropping the All-Stars part of that. Like, holy shit. That's kind of what helps Nintendo out, is having Smash to just kind of dump everything that doesn't really get the attention it deserves.
Yeah.
And it was nice that, like, Sega had a really good game that they were doing that with, and then they did, fuck it. Just make it Sonic. Fuck it.
And not only that, apparently make it bad as well.
Yeah,
I've heard,
it looks bad.
I've heard from a ton of people from Sonic fan sites and even our very own Source Gaming. They've all played demos at E3 and they said, yeah, it's really, really bad.
Fuck. It looked really bad, but...
Which is so fucking weird, because all they had to do was just make Transformed again. Or just port Transformed with new tracks and racers. I remember there was an April Fool's thing last year that was just like, yep, Sonic Racing Transformed Plus with new stages and characters from, like, Yakuza. And I'm like, yeah, that's just what you do.
No, you teased us with the thing that we wanted.
Yeah.
You did it backwards.
It's a bad April Fool's thing, because it's like, yeah, I actually would take that.
Yeah, that sucks. One of the best racing games ever, and that's it.
I think the one... the one Sega IP I would really love after Panzer Dragoon to get a sequel is probably another Knights game. Because Journey of Dreams was fine. Into Dreams is still like 10 out of 10. What do you? I still don't know what you call that genre. It's technically like a platformer.
You call it Knights.
The Knights genre, the flying platformer. I think there were some good ideas with Journey into Dreams, but like they were just like that game is not polished enough to like warrant multiple playthroughs. Yet I still like 100%ed it. I don't know why. I would really, really adore a sequel.
Yeah. Wow.
I now I'm thinking about Smash, and I'm just like, I really wish. I mean, the big rumor right now is that we're getting a fighter in the form of Isaac from Golden Sun. I had a weird dream the other day that Isaac from Golden Sun was announced, and we also got a new Golden Sun, and it was just like a complete reboot of the series. They were like, we're fucking done with the shit that happened with the DS one. And I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised, because it just seems like they're just taking like the top 10 most requested from like the fucking Wii U DLC pool and just making all of those characters anyway.
Yeah, they're really listening to feedback, which is, I doubt we're getting Banjo-Kazooie.
I don't know, man. Like,
it's possible.
As much as like Microsoft openly talked about, like, yeah, we'll totally do it. Like,
yeah, it's possible. I mean, Banjo-Kazooie games were still hitting like Nintendo platforms, like with the DS, right? Yeah, there was a Banjo game. There was. I think Banjo was on the DS in some form. Or did it just end at the game? No, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Viva Pinata.
Oh.
And Blue Dragon.
I think the most likely characters at this point are characters like Banjo-Kazooie and Geno and all of these like
Advanced Wars.
All of these either barely third party or totally third party, because like they just keep upping the ante.
So what's the deal with K. Rool? Doesn't Rare own him?
No.
No, not really.
Every character that was like designed under Rare while working on Donkey Kong Country, well, every character designed for Donkey Kong Country is owned by Nintendo.
Well, that's what I would have assumed, but I just heard so many fucking people saying that like the Kremlings in general were not Nintendo's anymore or some shit like that.
No, because Nintendo keeps re-releasing those games like no problem. Yeah, it's not like Kingdom Hearts where
it's
like
not Tarzan, yeah.
Yeah, like every character that's original to Kingdom Hearts is owned by Disney. Yeah. Except like the Tarzan things, like the iffy area, which is like why we don't see it anymore.
Yeah.
God damn.
But yeah, I don't know. People keep saying there's also like that they are slowly kind of dropping hints in these videos. I don't know if I believe that at all. I know the big thing is Reggie had Skull Kid on his desk in a recent video, though if you watch any of the Nintendo Directs, he always has like Nintendo merch on his desk. I swear I've seen that Skull Kid statue on his desk like 3 times before.
Colin, I swear to God, there was a Master Sword right behind it. Fi confirmed, dude.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying that the purple and yellow chairs behind Sakurai in the latest Direct was referencing something, because the backdrop in the E3 Direct had references to K. Rool and Simon.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna put Midley in the game.
Can't believe yellow and purple Tails and Espio the Chameleon are trying to confirm.
I can't believe the color balance was actually off, and it was green and purple, and Piccolo is coming to Piccolo's coming to Smash. But I think at this point it's just gonna be big surprises.
Yeah.
I really want Wonder Red, but I know it ain't happening.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I remember someone on Twitter asked me if I would expect DLC, and I was like, I don't fucking
I think so.
Yeah, but I can't even like think of. At this part, it's hard to even think of who they would realistically announce next, let alone with the DLC. But I mean, fucking Cloud was DLC, and no one saw that shit coming. So
I 100% think there could be DLC for that game.
Yeah.
Right now, the weirdest rumor is that Dante's gonna be in there, which I don't fucking believe.
Nah.
Yeah, I no. I mean,
as I said, I think at this point,
anything. That's right. 2B from Nier Automata.
Buzz Lightyear.
Like at this point, they could totally ruse us and pull some fucking obscure bullshit out of nowhere. The purple and yellow could be a reference to fucking Streets of Rage characters and be like, oh, alright. I'm down. Yeah, put Axel in Smash Brothers. Why not?
Damn. New Mega Man characters.
Yeah, I mean, if it would have been Goku like everyone thought it was going to be, then I would be saying, like, oh my god, it could literally be anybody. It's going to be fucking Christopher Robin from the Flash baseball
Reminder
game.
that Abe Lincoln's a Nintendo character due to codename Steam.
I was going to fucking name drop codename Steam earlier and I forgot.
I made a tweet about it and it got like 6,000 likes.
God, that's more people that played the fucking game.
It really is. It fucking sucks. And you know what? Like, half my messages were just people saying, like, I hate Will Wheaton. Oh my gosh. Actually,
So I guess the real question is Spring Man going to be in Smash, or was this game too bad?
His game sold well. ARMS is fun. Fuck you, Caleb. I love you. I'll kiss you tonight when we go to sleep. But he also said ARMS is too recent. Which makes total sense. And because Smash was in development for what? It's been in development for about 3.5, almost 4 years now. So that would mean like it started development 2 years before we ever saw ARMS.
ARMS is too recent, but he had Greninja in the game.
Well, the thing about Greninja was he was simply on the ballot as Pokemon from X and Y. So it seems like Sakura, like they still had pictures of him when he was in a developmental stage, and Pokemon, of course, is a major franchise that's going to sell well no matter what.
Spring Boy could just be DLC.
That's what I was gonna say. If anybody, he's gonna be the first DLC character then.
Here, what I really want to see in a direct is them just announce a Wonderful 101 port, and then they just say Wonder Red's gonna be in the game.
Of course,
I
want that too.
Smash can easily like guarantee sales for like a franchise. I think if it weren't for Smash, not nearly as many people would have bought Xenoblade 2.
I don't know about that one.
Xenoblade was a big game, though.
Xenoblade 2 is a big game, but I think it sold like a few 100,000 simply because of Smash.
No,
I don't know about that one.
I'm saying the first Xenoblade was a big game. There was a lot of groundswell around the big three, like European-style Wii JRPGs. And Xenoblade was by far the most popular of them.
Do you think they would add a Rex or a Mithra into Smash's DLC?
They totally could.
I wouldn't doubt it. I like them enough to put them in, or Jin. A lot of people like Jin.
Put Neku in the fucking game. Put Neku and Shiki as fucking Echo Fighters for the Ice Climbers.
Just put Gordon Freeman in it.
Put Gordon Ramsay in the fucking video game.
Who else could actually be in Smash at this point? Like, that's
anyone who is ever on a Nintendo console, and then some.
I mean,
Laharl from the Disgaea series.
Cloud was in, and all he'd ever been on Nintendo platforms were spin-offs.
Yep.
I still find it funny that people are like, Cloud was never on a Nintendo console. Then you'll show them like 4 images of 3DS games, and it'll be like, those don't count.
Have you ever played Recoded before, nerd?
Have you ever played Recoded? Have you ever played Chain of Memories? Have you ever played Final Fantasy Theorhythm? Have you ever played Final Fantasy Explorers?
Yeah.
Either way, it's like I don't know. I mean, technically we could get Persona 4 protagonist in Smash.
I would say do like Travis. It's time for Travis touchdown.
Yeah.
Travis touchdown strikes again would literally
it's 100% time for Travis touchdown.
Yeah,
like 100%. He fits in super well now. He's
definitely like one of the more mature Nintendo characters. I say Nintendo characters loosely, but he has a very close association with the systems.
Sure, but now that we have Snake and Bayonetta, there's never been a better time to put him in.
Yeah, I would really be down for Travis. I think, if anything, I would say he's probably a DLC character.
I mean, I could see that for sure, but I think in terms of like people that deserve a spot could fit in the game, I think he could for sure.
It seems like they're a little bit riskier with the DLC, like in terms of... Well, it seems like for every character that might not be popular, there's a character who's exceedingly popular for the DLC.
Sure.
Know what I mean? Because I don't know if you would say Lucas or Roy are exceedingly popular in Smash. I would say Roy is like far more popular than Lucas.
Sure, but I mean, Lucas also just being a part of the game that everybody's been asking for 5 fucking forevers and still don't have.
Yeah.
There's a lot of attention on him.
Did you see that tweet I shared earlier from the hot Twitter account Marcook Sellers?
Uh-oh.
They will announce Mother 4 against eToys Will in the next Direct that will air in 1 hour.
Damn.
Oh man, we're pretty much like almost at 2 hours. I think we've gone through pretty much everything. I know, Colin, is there anything else besides Marcus Sellers that you might want to talk about?
Let's talk about Marcus Sellers. Marcus Sellers is a stupid, dumb idiot, or 15 years old.
Yeah, so you were talking to someone who I'm not sure if you want their name out there, but they don't have a good relationship with Marcus, but Marcus is always leaking things, I say with air quotes, that just are never fucking true. Like the recent example, he said early 2019 there will be a Nintendo Switch Pro that will be able to play games. I guess this comparatively to Xbox One.
This fucking Switch Pro thing is something that has popped up a few times. I remember at MagFest, like Shadowlink and I would like sit aside and we fucking laughed at a Switch Plus, Switch Pro, Switch 32X, whatever you want to call it, leak, because the idea of there being a more powerful Switch is a fucking stupid one. And if you don't understand why, there's a reason why you don't work in the video game industry. Like, I get it. Like, yeah, the Switch is underpowered. There are definitely parts of the Switch hardware that could be improved. Yes, there's always better mobile technology coming out that could lead to all sorts of things. But no, there is no goddamn way that Nintendo is going to make a new Switch or a Switch revision so soon that would make the regular Switch, the one they just released about a year and a half ago, obsolete. It's just not going to happen. And the only Switch Plus I can ever see happening is if they somehow made a deal with Nvidia to make a Switch with a Tegra X2, but severely nerfed it so that it was only a very slight marginal upgrade. Like, I could see something like them making a Switch where the portable mode is as powerful as the docked mode of the original Switch. Mm-hmm. And then the docked mode is like 30-40% more powerful. But you're only going to be seeing some resolution and frame rate boosts. You're not going to be seeing like Doom now runs at fucking 4K, you know? But yeah, I just don't see it happening. Nintendo wouldn't fucking do it. There was one article, some guy from IGN basically slapped the rumor out of Marcus's hands, and it was the most satisfying thing on the planet. It was so good. So much so that he deleted all those tweets. But then an article came forward, and I want to read this excerpt from this article, because this is, I think, without a doubt, the dumbest thing I've read all weekend. This is from, I'm just going to call them out, nerdbacon.com, XD dude, LOL, funny joke meat. And they wrote, another big question surrounding any release of a Switch Pro is what the impacts the system's release would have on the existing Nintendo Switch user base of approximately 20 million customers. Fortunately for Nintendo, the Switch is young enough in its lifespan at this point that a transition to a Switch Pro model would not fragment the market too significantly. That's already the stupidest fucking thing to say. Because, of course, the context of the Switch having 20 million is that it's a fucking miracle that it has 20 million sold units. Not that, oh yeah, Nintendo just sold 20 million. Yeah, they could release another. But then it gets worse. Nintendo could also partner with a number of retailers and offer huge trade-in bonuses for people looking to trade their original Nintendo Switches for the new Switch Pro. Not gonna happen. They lose money on that. That's a fucking stupid idea. And this is gonna be a little bit rude, but you fucking stupid for thinking that. Like, holy shit. That's like... That's actually dumb.
Yeah.
Like, that is straight up just completely fucking stupid to think that would ever work. And any company on an upswing who just somehow, against all odds, sold 20 million units would go, yeah, let's just make a new one. People will just, you know, trade in the old one and then pay another 100 for the better model. Like, no. It's not going to happen.
They won't do that until they have a good idea for, like, the fucking, wow, the term is completely slipping my mind. The virtual console.
Yeah.
Because they'll have to have a revised Switch to play Super Nintendo games, like the 3DS. 100%.
I just think the whole... See, I don't think it's out of the question to get, like, a mid-generational step up for the Switch. I mean, Nintendo's pretty much done it with all their handhelds, and this is, like, a hybrid. Mm-hmm. But they've never... The thing is, they have never done it with their home consoles. They've never done, like, a slim version, at least... At least not, like... during its main life cycle.
Yeah, they've always done... They've always done a... They've always done the top loader at the very end of the NES's lifespan. They had the SNES 2 at the end of the Super Nintendo's. Some guy who was trying to argue with me on Twitter was like, oh, well, Nintendo made a version of the N64 without the stop and swap. Like, that was a fucking feature. And not just like a weird bug with the old N64. The GameCube never got anything except for the digital port being removed. The Wii got the Wii Mini. The Wii U got nothing. I mean, maybe there'll be a Switch. I don't doubt there are going to be revisions of the Switch. We already have a silent revision out that's fixing the RCM bug, possibly. Maybe a Switch Slim will be in the next few years, and there's totally going to be a Switch follow-up, but that's not to be expected, I think, until like 2022, 2023.
I'd say 2021 at the least.
Yeah.
Who's to say they won't just make some sort of like new dock? Like the Switch itself doesn't necessarily have to be the thing that changes.
Thing about the... See, I was going to suggest this, because the thing about the N64 and the GameCube, even though they didn't get revisions, is they had add-ons.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the thing with the dock... Well, that was the idea, that oh yeah, you'd plug it into the dock and it'd be more powerful, but the USB-C port on the Switch doesn't have a high enough bus speed to be able to carry like graphical power through it. Like, it's not Thunderbolt. So unless they were to do like a Super Game Boy scenario or a Game Boy Player scenario where the dock has basically an entire brand new console within it, and then the Switch is only being used for storage, card reading, that kind of stuff, because I'm sure it's, you know, fast enough for data speeds, then maybe. But of course, then the big problem is creating something that has such a high headroom of power over the portable mode,
right,
that you can't get games running on portable mode.
Right.
But I don't know, they could also do a PSP where they maybe in the future they decide to trade off having slightly worse battery power on the Switch by just upping the clock speeds of portable mode. Which is something they did with the PSP to get God of War working right. Yeah. But I don't know. Basically, don't listen to Marcus Sellers. Every time he posts something, it's full of shit. And we kind of said it last time, even when he does get stuff right, it can be chalk
third sourced.
Yeah, it's always from someone else, and a broken clock is still right twice a day. You know, just don't fucking listen to him. Just don't. Don't give him attention. Don't do any of that shit. He's an idiot.
I thought you were gonna go harder, like on the he might be a child thing.
Oh, well, I mean that too. He could just be like 15. That's what a few folks I know, I won't mention their names, but that's what a few folks I know that I've talked to think, because he never, you know, he's never been on a video, he's never been on a podcast, he's never revealed himself or anything. It's totally possible that he's just like 15, he loves the whole my dad works at Nintendo mentality, and now he's just like carrying it too far on Twitter.
He's as reliable.
At least the people following him are totally 15 years old. That's without a doubt. If you ever go to his godforsaken Discord, that place can't be saved.
I was there for like a day.
I was there for a day times a few months.
Damn.
It was funny while it lasted. But yeah, that's all I got, basically. I think it's probably time to wrap this up.
Yeah.
We're hitting that sweet 2-hour recording mark, even though we're going to chop this down to an hour, and then everyone's going to go...
An hour and a half? Watch it just be like an hour. Oh my gosh. Watch it just be like an hour and 50 minutes anyway. Just one for the long
why not?
haul.
Yeah,
I gotta send you some fucking like Twitter links and shit.
Hell yeah, dude.
Videos.
Here's the picture of like the Marina and Marie thing I'm trying to work on. I'm doing realism though, so
that's really fucking good. Whatever you just posted
is good.
That's supposed to be Marie.
That's really fucking good.
But anyway,
I gotta adjust the ear.
Let's end this.
We should do an outro, shouldn't we?
Thanks for letting me fucking talk about my shitty convention that just wasn't interesting. I'll be sure to fucking give you videos that are like actually good content.
Shut up! I liked listening to it.
Caleb,
Nay.
I liked listening to it too. We're your friends, and friends care about the minute little details of life.
Yeah, but these poor bastards that listen to your show sure as hell.
Well, you know which ones?
You mean like
that guy right there? I'm talking to you.
Yeah, Stanley.
Oh.
Damn!
I kind of mentioned
Stanley just said his mind blown.
Well, I was talking to a friend at another con I went to, and I said, I wish I had the superpower to accurately guess people's names, because wouldn't it be fucking great if you're walking down the street talking to someone and you were like, yeah, and that's when I said nothing is sacred, Andrew, and you just turn to a random guy on the street and you're like staring him down. At that point, you could just say anything to them. You could be like, hi, I'm from the future. Your daughter, April, she gets stung by wasps to death. We got to prevent that from happening. You got to get some bee insurance.
Every wasp in the world.
Give me $500. Drink this serum. Your children will be immune to bees forever.
I did that to someone once, and it really freaked them the fuck out. I was in college, and I wasn't in college. I was in high school, and I was sitting in my teacher's chair, and like one of the students entered, and I'm like, "We've been waiting for you, Jonathan." And he just looks at me and he's like, "How the fuck did you know my name?" he stopped walking the minute I said it, and he's like, "How the fuck do you know my name?" Because this dude had never been in this classroom before. I did not recognize him, at least. And he was just freaked the fuck out.
That's such a good feeling. I really wish I had that superpower. I wish I could do that.
I wish I had the superpower to end this podcast.
Oh no!
Whoa!
Got him!